I just wanted to come on and say hello. It is 8:30 my time here in Ottawa, and I wanted to show more about the book. I got this book, The Wealthy Barber, from step my father-in-law. Yeah. And it has been honestly I can't put it down even. Like, look, I'm almost done. I have barely put it down, and I just want to share some of my takeaways. First off, RRSPs and TFSAs, so registered retirement savings plans and tax-free savings accounts, are two amazing underutilized avenues for growing your finances. So I am guilty of not putting enough money into my RRSPs. I just before the year ended put a big chunk, like I maxed them out. Max them out if you can. Um yeah, like so many tips because it just the sooner you start, the sooner they explain it kind of like a snowball, which like I knew in my back of my mind, like, we've been told all these years about this kind of stuff. But anyway, when you read about it and when you hear like real life examples, it really like hits differently. So anyway, you start building like a snowball of your wealth, right? And your money. So if you start investing and start putting it to work sooner than later, you'll have more money when you decide to retire. Another thing, I'm just watching for my family. Another thing, there's so many good tips, so many good tips. So many tips I wish I knew before becoming a homeowner too. Is there's like a homeowner's account. I forget the name of it, but anyway, if you're saving up to buy a home, it's a good place to put money in to save because I believe it's like tax free when you take it out to buy your first home. It has to be your first home. Um, anyway, I'm past that, but it's like a good tip, and I had no idea about it. Anyway, another tip from the book, The Wealthy Barber. This is by David Chilton, one of the dragons at what's the show called? Dragon's Den, the Canadian version of Shark Tank. I love this show. Entrepreneurs come and like pitch their ideas and stuff. Anyway, obviously, a genius. Um, anyway, another tip was to first of all pay yourself first. And what I mean by pay yourself is put your just reading this book and giving some tips, put your savings away first. And they suggest saving 10% of your income. This is not always feasible for anyone, but 5 to 10% kind of thing is what they recommend in the book. And put that away before spending any money. So put it away and you'll hardly notice it. It comes off each paycheck or can come out of your account every month. Put it away into your RRSPs or whatever if you decided at TFSA. Put it away before you even notice that it's missing. 10%. Or if you can do anything, put it away before. Pay yourself first is what they say. Pay yourself first. What are some really other good tips? Get your money into RSPs and TFSAs, pay yourself first. Um, what else? The homeowners account for first time homeowners was a good one. And some tips, again, this isn't always feasible for anyone, but getting an extra income, like if you're first, the book is so good. They update it as you go. Like this book, I think, originally was made like years and years ago, but they update it as you go. And it's really like relevant to life these days because the cost of everything is so high. And it's really hard for younger people these days. By young people, I mean like 20-year-olds, like maybe some 30-year-olds, very young. It's hard for people these days to save and to get ahead in life. And basically, it really was good at acknowledging that. And what it said was, and again, it's not always feasible, but if you can get a second income, if it's possible, This is a big help because things just cost so much more money than ever before, and the costs of people's wages are not keeping up with the cost of everything. And it spoke about like how we are just bombarded every single day with, on social media, like buy this, buy this, buy this, and we are like in a mindset of, we deserve it, and we need to do self care and stuff like that. So it was really good, like up to date. I'm like, I can hardly wait to get back at it and read it. I'm almost done, and I got it for Christmas. So it's been like just over a week, and I'm almost done the whole book. But yeah, one tip was to get like another income, just like a little bit. Like one of the examples was someone did like dog walking, or like rented out their backyard for dogs to um, do, their running and stuff. What do you think of the overconsumption girlies? Yeah, I don't know. I don't have too much to say about, like people can buy what they want, I guess, with their own funds, but if you don't need it, I promote things as my job, you know what I mean? And I would say if you don't need it, don't buy it. And like you see my house, I'm a little house. I've been in my same house for 10 years. If something breaks around my house, I'll replace it. My fridge is probably 40 years old, and it has not been replaced because it's still working. You know what I mean? Like, what I would say is probably don't replace it. Don't buy anything. Like, if you don't need it, you know? Um, anyway, that's just my 2 cents. But again, we're in this like world of like, you deserve it and let's pamper ourselves and stuff. So, anyway, the book, speaking of the wealthy barber, it was like, it's so relevant to the times. This book was made years and years and years ago, and they've really done a good job at like updating it. So, yeah, these were just some tips that was in there as well, actually. Like, um, to really keep track. Okay, like you do like a monthly spending summary, and if you don't like, people were kind of keeping track of like, okay, their extras, their coffees, they're like, I'm just gonna stop and get an extra, Starbucks or Subway or whatever it is, the little extras, right? And when you kind of like write it out, I've started doing it. It's only the third or fourth today, but I've started doing it, and it's kind of like eye-opening. I'm like, okay, we're like what, 3 days into the year, and this is already what I've spent. Like, granted, we're on vacation. We're like kind of doing more activities because we're on vacation. Like, we're still in vacation. My son's still off school, but it just really like is eye-opening. So if you can keep track of your spending, keep track of what you're doing, and if you don't need it, then maybe you don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like it makes people more aware. At least that's what it's doing for me. So yes, let me just sum up some of the tips. This is from the Wealthy Barber. Some of the tips if you're just logging on now and watching now. RRSPs and TFSAs. Do not leave your money just sitting there. This is what I was doing for so long. I didn't know. I thought, well, you want to keep like a good amount of cash just in case, right? Like as a homeowner, you never know, the roof goes, whatever. But which is true too. Like you need to, account for those things, but put, if you can, 5 to 10% away of your paycheck each month and put it in a TFSA or RRSP. And this way it is working for you. It is growing. Your snowball of finances is growing, growing, growing. And that way when you're in retirement, you have more than you thought you would have. You know what I mean? Um, and then, yes, so that was one of the tips. The main tip, pay yourself first. So put away your savings each month before, doing your extras like eating out. That's my huge one, is eating out. Oh my gosh, a couple of years ago, I did a budget kind of thing, and I was like looking at what I spent on my takeout and stuff. Like, I love food, you know what I mean? I can eat, but it was like outrageous. So I've started doing it also, is another thing they suggest, is just keeping track because it makes you so much more mindful of what you're spending. So do not even a budget, not a crazy budget, but just keeping track. They said like a spending summary. So every day now I'm trying to go in and just see like how much I'm spending. Um Another tip for homeowners, like because it is so hard these days, if you're young, if you're 20s, Oh, my son. I'm just making a little video about the book and some lessons that I've taken from reading this book. This is called The Wealthy Barber. Okay, there's my son in the background. This is The Wealthy Barber, and I was talking about the tips that I've learned. So do you want to hear them?
Okay.
Okay, so what I've learned is there's some special bank accounts that you can put your money in that helps your money get more and more and more every year. You're funny. And that so when you retire, when you're old and you're
When you're like a grandpa.
when you're a grandpa or grandma and you're old
or
and you
if you're a
retire, you
grandma.
got more monies. You got more monies.
Right.
Anyways, and then the next thing, I'm actually on a YouTube live. You know these. You know YouTube.
Yeah, she's on YouTube. I've watched her videos.
Mm-hmm. And then another thing that they said in this is, what else? If you can get a second little job to generate more income because things are just so expensive these days, then you can do that if that's feasible. It's not feasible for everyone, but if you're able, they said you can get
I have
another.
no idea what bank stuff is, so
Yeah,
stuff
I know.
is not really for me.
No, it is not really for you, this conversation. But Mommy got this book from Grandpa for Christmas. And look, I'm almost done. See how my bookmark is almost done?
Mommy?
Yeah.
Mommy.
Yes.
What?
Bye. Bye. Those
I
were my
thought you
main
said it
tips.
yet.
Okay.
Do
Okay. Okay.
any. What?
Can you do his teeth after I'm gonna call Jesse?
Okay. Your dance moves?
Okay, can I do some dance moves?
Oh, you know I like to dance, eh? You're so funny.
Put it on me.
No, we're not looking at you dancing. No, no, no. Okay. Those were my main tips. RSPs, TFSAs. Save 5 to 10% of your income every month. Put it into your RSP or TFSA before you even notice that it's gone. Side income, a little side hustle. What else? If you don't need it, if it's not broken, don't buy it. I know it's not a popular opinion, but that's just what the book says.
Hello, grandma.
Hey! What else did the book say? If you're looking to buy a home, it said like start smaller with the home, because it'd be more affordable. What else did the book say? If you're, there's also a special account for homeowner. Your first time, for your first home.
Ronaldo. Guys, Ronaldo's the GOAT.
You've been waiting your whole life to say that, huh?
Ronaldo's the GOAT.
What else do the kids say? 6, 7.
Yeah.
6, 7.
6, 7.
6, 7.
Nobody needs to know where my mouth is.
Mm-hmm. All right. Good night, everyone.
No,
Thank you
don't
for
say
listening
goodnight.
to my tips. Thank you for listening to my tips. These are just a couple tips from the William Barber. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Try to actually speak.
How do I stop this thing? Okay, exit.